Hey, Mystic Michaela spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela today. How are the holidays? A really special time to connect with those who have crossed over. I am going to talk about ways to connect with those on the other side who want to come over during this holiday season, as well as share some mediumship stories from our very own Mystic Michaela spiritual family. But first, hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. All right, let's talk about the holidays in general to start here.
Yes.
Obviously, love the time of year, right? A lot of joy and all that. And it's supposed to be a lovely time with friends, family, etc. But I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that maybe dread this time of year. Maybe they actually dread Christmas Day or something like that. And the reason being, maybe they've lost someone. Maybe they can't handle the memories of that person being around at that time and them not being there anymore to celebrate that holiday. So it's very interesting. I think we really got to delve into that today.
Yeah.
But first, you actually had an interesting thing happen to you just recently about your grandfather coming through.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll start with you telling that story, and then we'll get more into like kind of the signs and why it happens during the holiday season, maybe a little bit more than usual.
Right. And just like side note, I do mediumship all day, like for other people. But when it happens for me, I'm still like, ooh, it's so.
When it happens to you.
Yeah, when it happens to,
Right.
to me, I'm always just as like shocked and surprised as like anyone else.
Right.
I always feel like I always feel like my people around me. But when they surprise me, like the story I'm about to tell.
Yeah. No, that happens a lot. And I always say that to you because I'm like, well, you do this for a living. You connect people to loved ones, do your mediumship thing, do your psychic readings. And then when it happens to you, you're like in shock. And I'm like, wait a second, don't you do this for a living?
Well, you know what it is? It's very validating, like for me as a person. I love validating other people.
Yeah.
And like I always say, when someone you love dies, you become the medium.
Right.
All right. So when I'm able to witness that in other people, obviously, like that's my life passion and I love it. When it happens for me, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, oh, me, like that. Like I never win anything, like that kind of thing. So anyway, This is my story. So this happened last week. I don't know why I was in my closet and I decided to try on an old winter coat. I do not know why. I live in Florida. It is perpetually 80 degrees here all the time. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know. My fingers just went. I had to unzip it from its dry cleaner bag, everything. And I put it on. Why did I do that? I don't know. Put my hands in the pocket, pull out a piece of paper. Immediately, I'm like, oh, wow. It was what I read. It was the reading from Isaiah. I read it at my grandfather's funeral. So the last time I must have worn this coat was for my grandfather's funeral. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second. Okay. This happened on December 6th. And I'm like, when did he die? Like what cause I felt something. I felt like this is a connection. I felt like a personal feeling with this. And I felt my grandfather. And so I text my dad and I have this text. I made like a story about it too. I text my dad. I'm like, hey, when did Papa Pat die? Now, remind you, this is all happening on 12/6. My dad writes, will it happen on 12/7/10?
Okay.
So
2010.
And so December 7th, 2010 is when I didn't remember that. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm not one that keeps track of the death dates of people. Right. Some people do. I don't.
Wait, he died on December 7th?
Of 2010.
Oh, wow.
And this happened on December 6th, 2025.
Oh, that's interesting too, because that's December 7th is
Pearl
Harbor Day.
Yeah.
And he fought in World War II.
He did.
And he always used to tell stories.
Yes. He always talked about that all the time.
Okay. Sorry. Continue.
No. Yeah. I thought that too.
Yeah. That's kind of,
I know. He was a real history buff himself.
Yes, he was.
And he lived it. So it was like cool.
And he lived it.
He loved to talk about it. But yes. So I immediately was like, oh my gosh, I call him Papa Pat. Papa Pat's talking to me. It's like my mom's dad. Papa Pat's talking to me. Oh my gosh. Like I felt so connected in that moment. And, I texted my dad and like everybody's kind of just like, like I run downstairs. I'm like, Scott, guess what? You're like, oh, cool. Like I tell the kids, they're like, okay. For me though, I was don't let other people's reactions diminish your own. Like, that is lesson number 1 when you get a sign. What you felt in that moment is the most important thing. I just feel so connected and happy, and just like happy that he came through and gave me a message. And I love you, Papa. That was, he really saw me. Okay.
So that would have been 15 years ago.
Yes.
Basically to the day.
Yeah.
Do numbers play into this at all, or
all the time? Yeah. Like, beyond holidays, like birthdays, anniversaries, death days, important event days, your birthday.
Yeah.
These are times when the veil, I'm going to talk about this coming up in the next segment, but the veil is thin. So when something happens, my first thought is, what day is this? What happened today? Like, for me, I knew, I'm like, because I texted my dad, I'm like, hey, when did Papa Pat die? Because I just had this feeling, was it around this time of year or whatever? Whose birthday is this? What's going on? That's the first thing, because the veil's thin on dates that are crossover points for whatever reason, and it's easier to connect with people on the other side with numbers. So
let me just get this straight. So in the 15 years you had this coat in the closet for 15 years, you've never tried it on?
No.
Or anything? Because we did a couple of winter trips in the last 15 years.
It's a very fancy winter coat.
Okay.
I put this on my stories, and somebody wrote, "Oh yeah, it's up north funeral fancy." I'm like, it is. Like, it's a funeral fancy coat. Like, it's very, it's classic.
Do you remember? Okay, I don't know if you're going to remember this. Do you remember in the last 15 years trying it on?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
No. I would like look at it because it's just been in my closet.
But I've never
took
it off the hanger.
And all the times I've gone back in the winter up north, I never brought it with me.
Right.
I would. Yeah, I know. Okay. So it's weird, and there's no reason why I would have tried it on.
Yeah.
It's just random. I'm like, what prompted me to put that on? Well, that's spirit moving through me.
Right.
And how many times do we get some sort of just kind of feeling like we want to do something, and we like, I don't have time for this, or shrug it off or something. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, I did it. And just so you know, like, my closet is very purple aura coded. So I had to walk through piles of things to get, like, it's right there, but it's still like it's an ordeal to get it out. But yeah, so it was crazy. So I had the reading, and it was just, that's the last time I wore it.
That's incredible. No, that is really neat.
Yeah.
I guess, yes, I remember when you coming down and telling me that, and I thought it was...
You're like, cool.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, it's cool.
Neat.
And then I went back to watching the football game,
yeah.
But yeah. but you know what? It's so commonplace here that maybe, like, sometimes you overlook those. Maybe, and that's maybe what people do. It's like, you maybe just sometimes
you can overlook it.
You can
overlook
be like,
or a lot of what I hear, and this is why, please, if you take nothing from this podcast, from all the years listening to it, take what I'm about to say. It happened, believe it. Okay. Because a lot of times I could spin this another way in more 3D logic. I could be like, well, did you just try it on? Because I don't know.
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to do that to you a couple minutes ago by saying, oh, did you try it on
Have
before?
You tried it on before?
Yeah.
Is there some reason why you tried it on? Maybe, like that. Sure. If you want to if you want to suck the magic out, sure, do it. But honestly, isn't it worth playing the quote fool for believing it? If that means that if there's even the slightest possibility, the most minuscule possibility on the other side that they sent that message to you, and you know how much energy it takes people on the other side to send a message. It takes so much energy for them to send you a message. And when you like shut it down, it's like, like punch in the gut, like, oh God, like, it's worth playing the fool. That's what I always say. For that chance, even that, okay, it was received.
Okay.
Because that's love. Right. We play the fool for love. I know that I wasn't playing the fool. I know this was my grandfather, but I have been doing this a long time, and it's not new to me. And I totally understand why some people, are just surrounded by different philosophies their whole life. So it can be a little bit like, well, maybe it wasn't real. And I don't know why we have to suck magic out of things, because we don't want to play the fool.
Okay. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and we're going to talk about signs during the holidays.
Are you a last-minute shopper? It's okay. You're just like me, and it's okay. We have aura frames. It is the solution with a gift that feels personal. Last year, I gave my in-laws an aura frame, and they love it. It is the gift they use every single day of the year. I think one of my favorite parts about it is you can preload it before they even open the box. How do you do that? You download the app and then you put pictures from your phone right on the app and then it goes right to the frame. It's that simple. And I gave my kids, my kids downloaded the app and they just put it on Grandma and Poppy's phone and they love doing it. They like to just surprise them with new photos that pop up on their frame at their house. It's all connected through Wi-Fi. And for those last minute shoppers, a gift box is included. Every frame comes packaged in a premium gift box with no price tag. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code KYA at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code KYA. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show, please, by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. All right, so it's the time of year where, you really might want to connect with someone who has passed, a loved one, and, maybe you're really feeling it. What do you guys say? I'm in my feels.
I'm in the feels.
I'm in the feel.
Right.
My feels. And it's the holiday season. You really do want to connect with somebody.
Yes.
To make, maybe to give you just a sense of comfort.
Yes.
Okay, so what are we going to look for here? How are we going to connect? What are we going to do?
Okay, so the first thing is it's not like a one-way conversation. Okay. So we can't just sit there and wait for them to call us. Sometimes we have to.
That's what I do.
Yes. Sometimes you have to start the conversation. I wrote a whole book about this, by the way, the Book of Signs. When a big part of why I wanted to write it is we can communicate back. Like we can start a conversation, and there's different ways to do that. One of them, holiday coded, like this time of year, is traditions. Traditions, memory. Anything that has to do with memory is you could think of it like a portal. It's like dialing their phone number. It's like that. But through, all right, every Christmas Eve, we used to sit by the fire and read this book to the kids, or, things like that. Like do something that was a repetitive, happy memory and do it in your own way, but doing it in a way that is bringing their memory with it. Also it's really hard when somebody dies to talk about them for a while. I think, it's very hard, and forcing yourself when you're comfortable to start bringing them up in terms of the memories, I think is all telling your kids, telling the nieces, the nephews, be like, hey, remember Dad used to always make this joke. Remember, that is so powerful when it gives them a seat at the table still, and it allows for them to have more opportunity to kind of work their energy and in the ways that they're able to communicate when you do that. I think a lot of it too is, the perspective of sadness has to shift a little bit. And this is everyone has their own way of doing this, by the way, and their own timeline. But a lot of us want to avoid feeling sad, and avoid like sitting in it. And that can be a hindrance to them being able to come through. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to mingle that with joy. People who've really experienced loss know this better than anyone else. You live with it in you. Like you don't fill that hole, you work around it, and you learn to grow a garden around that void. That's what you learn to do. And it's not easy, and it's a reinvention of self, but practicing that through holiday traditions and talking about them and remembering things is one way to do it. Another, like I'm talking about like cooking a dish that your aunt used to make, or using the same china, or talking about like memories. And the other thing is like religious practices. A lot of us maybe aren't the same religion, or we're not practicing what we were brought up in, for example. You don't have to throw that out just because you don't identify with the practices anymore. Like for me, for example, I have a nativity scene, like that is something that I have. I was raised Catholic. I have my nativity scene. I put it out. It gives me that feeling of connection to everyone who came before me. So you can still practice religious practices. Just put your own spin on it that makes you feel comfortable, and put your own belief on it that makes you feel okay. That brings them in too. Like all these traditions and practices and these moments if you think about it, it's like your hand reaching through the veil
Right.
and grabbing theirs.
Okay. I have some questions.
Okay.
You want me to wait?
No.
Or okay.
Go ahead.
Well, first off, like let's say it's just too painful for you.
Yeah.
And you don't want, let's say you just don't want the signs. Like, let's say, it's just real painful.
Oh, yeah.
You just can't handle it.
Yeah, especially at the beginning.
And maybe, like, if they gave you that sign, you just lose it.
Yeah.
Is that, so what would you, maybe you just, what do you do then? Or
that's very normal. There's no wrong way to feel.
Yeah.
I think it takes time. It takes, like I said, everybody has their own timeline of receiving signs. And some people can be like, why don't I get a sign? Like, why did they forget me? Why am I forgotten? Like, you can feel that way too.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, like you can feel forgotten, or you can feel like not ready, or you can just feel like numb. There's lots of different ways to feel. And nothing's wrong, and anything you feel is fine. I feel like if you don't want to receive signs and you're not ready yet, make your own traditions, like do something different. Like you don't have to host this year. I've told this story before. I had this one client, her mom, her birthday was always around Thanksgiving, and she just couldn't, and her mom died. They're so close, and she just couldn't do it. So she's like, she went on a cruise that year, she's like, I'm going on a cruise, like for that birthday / Thanksgiving. So that's what I'm doing. And it's a Band-Aid that is fine. You know what I mean? Like you got to do what you can manage emotionally. A lot of these things take years to build up for. What if you feel forgotten? Like, why aren't I getting signs?
Yeah, like me, I make a joke like, all right, give me a sign now, and it just never happens. Or I'm just like, why don't they ever give me a sign? Phoebe, what's going on? Give me a sign. And it just doesn't happen for me.
Right.
It happens for you all the time.
It does happen for you. And the fact that you say this is so mean to your dead people.
Sometimes it happens for me. with you helping me, I guess.
Like your cousin Annette, like threw a glass of wine at your mother. 2. Yeah, two glasses of wine. Like that's a good one.
Good job, Annette.
Yeah, but that's a good one, you know?
That one, that was awesome.
Like what more do you want? Like that's awesome.
But I can see, all right, but let's say you're kind of like, I'll just be that person. Okay, I'll just pretend I'm that person then.
Okay.
I'm the person, and I'm just not getting the signs, and it's making me even sadder.
But you found a check for Hanukkah that she wrote, like after her death. Yeah. And the following year, you were in the glove compartment and you find it, her card and her check that she would always write, even though you were a grown adult. Yeah. She would always write
she's strong. She's strong.
A check for Hanukkah. And you were like, I probably just forgot to take it out of the glove compartment. And it's like,
well, she's strong.
This is what I live with, people.
You understand.
And I'm like, no, she just said hello to you. She's saying happy Hanukkah.
Here's the thing. I honestly, I do believe it. I have to at this point believe it. I mean, I've just seen so much stuff.
Right.
My toilet paper's been stamped by a paranormal entity. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen so much stuff. I believe it. I just like to play. I
devil's advocate.
Yeah. Well, I like to go through all the scenarios to see if it could be something else.
Yes. You're a magic sucker. It's fine.
That's right.
Every family has a few. No, and it's okay. But then there's me, and then like I'm more like the cool aunt.
But I believe.
Who's like, hey.
Yeah, I know. But I truly do believe it. I do believe it. And I do get more signs than I lead to. Phoebe and me are a little bit on odds, but
we're talking about dead people.
But dead people, yeah. We're talking about dead people.
They're around. They're around a lot.
No, all right. So, but in all seriousness, but let's say you really are not connecting to that
like,
one person.
Why aren't I getting the signs?
Why am I not getting the sign?
So, like I said, sometimes you got to start the conversation. So think about who you really want to sign from and start doing things. First of all, like assign them a sign, like but this holiday season, if I see, mistletoe, that's my fiance or something.
Is that trying too hard? Like,
who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Just do it. Okay. Because and I'm glad you brought that up. Because that's the initial like ego response. Like, oh, I'm going to be looking for it. Therefore, it's not real.
Right.
Maybe the first couple times, but then it's going to start getting flipping weird to the point where all of a sudden people are sending you cards with mistletoe on it, or somebody or your little 2-year-old cousin comes up and says mistletoe to you, or just like weird, all of a sudden down. So you got to start the conversation. You might also want to do something that they used to do. For example, like I said, like maybe you really want to connect to your mom and she always made this pie, make the pie, make it in her bakeware, serve it to people, just do something that brings them so close to you in memory, and then see what you feel during it, see what happens during it, see what happens afterwards. So yeah, you do have to kind of start the conversation a bit.
Now let me ask you this question. Now I'm going to get a little bit weird here. I'm going to get a little woo-woo.
Okay.
Because I don't know what happens once we die. I have no idea what goes on, what processes there are, wherever we may go. I mean, we've talked about going to other planets or people from other planets coming, like star seeds, right?
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. So what if, just putting this out there, the person that you want to connect with who has passed, you know, and you really want to connect them, and you're trying, and you're putting all these things out that you're saying, and you've read the Book of Signs by Mystic Michaela, and you know everything, right?
Yeah.
But let's say that person that passes, and I'll just call it this, they're on vacation at Aruba. They've decided that they're going to do something else.
Right.
Is that
they're quiet in spirit, or they've moved on their energy, like reincarnation or something like that.
Exactly. Or maybe
or they don't connect because they had such a traumatic passing.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll get that when people have, like, for example, passed, died by suicide, or people who had such a traumatic passing they're not ready to come through yet.
Right.
Okay. So everyone's different, and people on the other side are different too. What I notice, so it does vary person to person who's passed. What I notice is some people do feel further away than others, and you're going to get less signs from them. These tend to be like older people that have been dead for quite a while. So if you're connecting with, like, that's why I was really surprised my Papa Pat came through, because he died at like 93, and that was 15 years ago.
15 years ago.
So I was like, wow, I can't believe he came through. You know what I mean? Like that. But anyways, sometimes, like, older people who are very ready to die and very ready to move on, sometimes they can kind of, I feel what it is they move, like they reincarnate, or their energy moves forward. But there's vestiges of their energy that still kind of remain, like higher self energies that can still kind of communicate. So that's one. And then people who've died traumatically, sometimes you just got to give them time. So all of a sudden, like, it might be like 15 years before you get something, a sign or some sort. And you just have to give them time to, some people have to recover on the other side. And that is something, those are exceptions to the rule.
Okay. But it's possible.
Yeah. I'll never forget, like, I read this woman, oh my God, some of these readings just stick with me. This is like years ago. A woman came and her best friend had died, and she was a mom of like 3 young children. She died of breast cancer. She did not want to die. And she came through just like, it was awful. You know, like, you're okay on the other side. Like, that is home, but nobody wants to leave their kids. You know what I mean? And that's just a fact. And she's okay and she's safe and all that. But sometimes they're grieving too on the other side. They're grieving their life, and they're grieving that they don't have control over being here anymore. You know, so they're just people. We're all just people. And when you cross over, you don't not become who you are. You know, like, you kind of stay the semblance of that. So you also have to take in consideration, somebody's circumstances, how they pass, and also their personality.
Okay. All right. If I have any more questions.
Oh, I'm sure they'll come up.
I'm sure they will come up. But for now, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family's holiday mediumship stories.
It is holiday time, and that means that eating well can feel impossible right now. But that's why I use Factor's chef-prepped, dietitian-approved meals to help me stay balanced and energized through the most indulgent time of year. Guess what I had last night for dinner? I had cilantro chicken with rice and beans. It was so delicious. It was ready so quickly. It filled me up, killed my cravings. I love Factor because it outperforms any other meal kit. I mean, unlike meal kits that require prep and cooking, Factor delivers fully prepped, ready-to-eat meals in just 2 minutes. Also, there's so much variety. You can choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Real people, real results, staying on track even during the most indulgent season, and me included. And just because I cannot live without their cold-pressed juice, wow. It is amazing, and I highly recommend on your way out at checkout, get some of their cold-pressed juice. Eat smart at factormeals.com/KYA50 off and use code KYA50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code KYA50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. This exclusive holiday offer won't last. Lock in your savings before the New Year's rush. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. All right. So the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family, we put up a post, or you put up a post for their holiday mediumship stories.
Yes.
So many came in, all unbelievable. But before we get into a couple of these stories, I just want to clarify for the listener how you do mediumship. So if you had a reading with Mystic Michaela, I assume you know how she works.
Right.
But how let's say you don't know the person, how do these messages come to you? How do you do mediumship?
So I'm sure everybody works differently. How it works for me is I need a photo. It just helps me the best. And then I'm an empath. I call myself an empathic medium. So the first thing I get are people's personalities and their feelings. And then after that, they'll give me like messages, or I'll see things, or I can't control the reading. So I never know what they're going to give me. Okay. So some people are more chatty than others on the other side. So they kind of run the show after that. They're very pushy, but I love that.
But the way you work is you have to connect through this photo.
I have to connect through a photo. I got to look at a photo and a loved one. It helps me best if I work. Sort of if I have connection. Because you're the connection. Again, when somebody you love dies, you are the medium. Like you're it. Know, and everybody has this ability. Everybody has the ability to connect with someone they love on the other side.
Okay. All right. So.
Well, I wanted to start. So I'm so thankful to all of you who participated on the thread. I mean, you gave such beautiful chills. I got chills reading these stories, and such just, if you really want a great tearjerker and feel really good about things, go read this thread. But Emily writes, my little brother, Joey, died when he was 18 after a terrible car fire. The first Christmas after his passing, I found an ornament that he had written his name on for elementary school years ago. I was too sad to put it on the tree, so I tucked it in my sock drawer. Oh, that makes me cry. One day that December, I came home especially upset from grad school because we had been learning about providing therapy for patients dealing with grief. And my own grief was so intense. I went up to my room and the ornament was sitting directly in the center of my room on the carpet. No one else in the house knew about it, and no one would have gone in my sock drawer to take it out. I cried a lot at the time, but I felt like it was my little brother saying, I'm here with you. I'm super curious to know what colors he may have been. He struggled with depression and anxiety and a wild side, so I'm wondering what empath colors he had. And then she gave me a picture of her brother. And so immediately as I'm reading this, I'm just filled with, I knew I wanted to read this one. I picked it right before because I just felt so drawn to it. And looking at him, he did. All right. So again, I'm an empathic medium, so I get a rush of emotion. That's the first thing I get. So I get him telling Emily, and just I love you, and I am here, and thank you for seeing me, and thank you for taking care of me, not just his memory, but in life too. I feel like they really took care of him. And he was indigo purple, which is a very tough combination for a man in our society to have. He feels like he still is just a very sensitive, empathic, connected person. So it makes sense that he comes through emotions. I feel like when Emily was feeling all her feelings, that's what made it actually easier, about learning about grief and therapy. It actually made it easier for him to come through. He could use that as just like a door to walk right through because she doesn't shut it down. And that's really beautiful. What a big thing I get here is thank you for the namesake. So it's almost kind of like, did you name somebody after him? Because that's kind of the thing I get. So namesake vibes give me a very special feeling of that's another way to communicate back with people who've passed. Name someone after them. It means a lot to them, and it definitely has some sort of tether between worlds. But he definitely comes through in a kind way and a lot of gratitude for the memory that they're keeping of him alive. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
What'd you get? What was your story you picked out?
Okay. I picked out Sophia. She's one of the waffles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I picked that. And it was easy to read.
Yes, because it was short.
Because I am terrible at reading these stories. All right. Sophia W. writes, my parents received a card during the holidays and realized it was from my late grandparents' exact address. Turns out my mom had done business with someone who now lived in their house, not in the same town my parents lived in, more than 10 years after they stopped living here. My mom was shocked, and my dad was so touched because it was his parents and they loved the holidays.
Oh.
So, okay, so just to...
So you're like, wait a second, what happened?
Yeah, what happened?
So they received a card during the holidays, and the return address was their grandparents' exact address.
Right.
Okay.
More than 10 years later.
Yeah, so it was just weird. They got a Christmas card from people who lived in the same house as their grandparents did.
Yeah.
So
how does that happen?
Exactly. So that's why they were like, whoa, that must be grandparents. And it was also like she did business with somebody who actually lived in this house.
Okay.
More than 10 years after they stopped living there. So it was just kind of like what coincidence of coincidences, but but that's really synchronicity.
It is. See, now I ask questions like, how big was this town?
I know.
Okay, but
we just
believe. If you just believe.
If you just believe. As like Josh Groban says.
Polar Express. Just believe. All right, I'm just going to believe it.
Does your bell still ring, Scott? Do you still hear the bell ring? Okay, so that's really cool. I hear this a lot, like not just mail, but if you ever gotten a flyer or email or advertisement or billboard, if you see things like that, it's very easy. And I talk about this in my book, in the Book of Signs. It's very easy for spirit to grab hold of advertisements or mail or try to just get people, I'll send them a card, because this was through some sort of business interaction is the reason why it happened, mailing lists, things like that. It's just a creative reach out from the other side. They were able to do that. I think it's just really cool that they recognized it, and the mom and dad both immediately were like, oh my gosh, thank you. This is awesome. It's totally from them. Then do you ever feel bad for the people who were the ones that actually sent the card? They don't get the credit. It's like the dead people got the credit.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if this has ever happened to you, have you ever given somebody something and all of a sudden they were like, oh my gosh, how did you know this was my mom's favorite XYZ or whatever? And then they immediately like associate their gift with the dead person in their life, and you're like, well, I'm the one that bought it and wrapped it, like that. If you ever get stuck in being the conduit for someone else's mediumship moment, just pat yourself on the back and say, good job, me. You're welcome.
Do you think I ever been the conduit? I don't think so. I think because I would get stuck. Like if that message came, boom, it would just get like stuck.
Stuck in you?
Like it would end with me. Like they'd be trying and then they'd use me as the conduit and it would just close. It would just it just closes.
That's why like kids are really good.
Yeah. So don't try using me. Anyone, don't try to use me.
My across the street neighbor, she has got the best job because she works with kids. She's a special ed teacher. And she has stories all the time about little kids will just be like, when was your grandma's birthday? Like on her grandma's birthday, they asked this. Like stuff like that. It's like if you're lucky enough to work with kids, they're the best conduits because they don't do what you just said. They don't stop. They just say what's in their head.
They're not like being like,
turn
it
they don't
off.
turn it down.
Turn it off.
Yeah, like if it depends.
Yeah. Although you do have a shot if you're a red blue. If you're a red blue that has passed.
Oh yeah.
You do have a shot.
You're good at finding the right people to use as conduits.
Yes.
I would say the red blues are good at finding and with you.
Yeah.
For some reason they get you in the dad.
Dads.
Thing.
Yeah.
The red blue dads get you.
Red blue dads will get
They
me.
get you.
They do.
Yeah. All right. I have another one.
Okay.
This one is from Jamie and it's long, but man, wow. This gave me chills. Jamie writes, my fiance Sean passed away in November 2020. It was 5 days before Thanksgiving. There has been this tiny white seashell for as long as I can remember floating around in my backyard. It was left unattended, untouched for years in the courtyard amongst blue stones and drainage rocks. If anyone had ever stepped on it, it was never broken and remained intact. Sean noticed it once and asked where it came from, and I had to tell him I had no idea because honestly, I did not. It probably came home with me from one of my beach trips, but I didn't know for sure. A few months after Sean died, my then 6-year-old niece found the seashell for her first time and asked why it was there. I told her I had no idea, nobody knew. She picked it up, held it in her hand, looked at it calmly, and while still looking at a seashell says, I think this seashell is from Sean since we went to the beach together. Wow.
Wow.
Hold on. I'm like choked up here. Whew. At that moment, it didn't matter if the seashell had been there for years. I saw a little girl who found comfort in finding a seashell in a place that she wasn't expecting it. And she associated finding that seashell with an experience she shared with someone who is no longer with us. I told her there are signs everywhere and we have to believe that we will find them. I ended up putting the seashell in what became a memory garden in the center of the courtyard for safekeeping. My dog, Phoebe.
What?
I know.
Stop it.
Her dog's named Phoebe.
Oh my God.
This is your sign.
Yeah, I was actually tearing up here. So.
This is your sign.
Yeah.
You just hijacked your story, but it's okay.
Okay.
My dog, Phoebe,
that's what I do.
Who loves taking rocks and running around with them, went past the thousands of blue stones that are in the courtyard, went into the memory garden and picked up the seashell in her mouth. She ran to the other side of the yard, delighted that she got something that I didn't really want her to have. After ignoring me yelling her, drop it, she started chewing and it was gone. I looked back in the memory garden hoping she had gotten something else and it wasn't the seashell. The seashell was out of there. I went to where she took it and looked for remnants of it, hoping she had dropped it along the way. Nothing. I was upset and realized the irony that the dog that I had got a year after Sean died would take something that I took as a sign from Sean. I got a bit sad, but told myself that if it was gone, it was meant to be gone. A few months later, all right, everybody ready for this one?
Yep.
I walked past the memory garden and noticed something bright white against the dirt. It was the seashell.
Stop it. Oh my God.
How insane is that?
Who sent this in?
This is Jamie.
Jamie?
Jamie A.
Jamie A.
Yeah. How insane is that?
Also, both our spirit guides were mentioned in this story. Yours is Sean.
Mine's Sean.
And mine's Phoebe.
That's crazy. I didn't even put together the Sean one. That's right.
Yeah.
Shells. Before I go into reading, she didn't give a picture, but Sean has such energy coming from this. So I'm going to talk about that.
Okay.
But before I talk about that, I talk about this in my book, Shells, and what they mean, because they are really powerful symbols of transcendence. You know, when we pass, we do transcend. And it is like a vessel. You know, what are shells? They're vessels of life that have passed through. And the shell is such a deeply symbolic way for him to communicate. And maybe even before he passed, when he held it, when he asked her about it, you know what I mean? Maybe there was just a part of him like, okay, this is going to be our touchstone. And because we are just shells here and we transcend through it. Yeah. And it symbolizes that journey of the soul and eternity. And I just think it's really special. But feeling the energy of Sean, I get the word best friends. I get the word soulmates. I get the word art. He feels very just like there's like a comedy about him. Like he doesn't want to make anybody sad. So I get a sense of like being together and having fun and rituals. And he feels like a very artistic person. That's the other thing I get. And I get him being such a supporter in her journeys and what she does from the other side. Like I feel like he's constantly giving her messages and help and assistance as she helps other people. That's the other thing I get with this. I get him like very busy. He's showing me he's like somebody very busy, like somebody like that. And I get he's over there and he's teaching others and he's helping other people figure out their life path. And he's saying he has no problem with pauses. He's and I don't know what this means. I'm just getting it. He's like, pauses are magical. Like there's a lot going on in the pause and people think a pause is something that is detrimental, but it's not, you know, and I don't know what that means. I hope that means something to Jamie with him, but he comes through like he was a very transcended soul, somebody who really, really brilliant on the other side, a brilliant light.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. Do you know their colors?
She looks, I'm looking at her. She's really like sparkly yellow, a little turquoise, a little indigo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, you said...
He feels purple.
Yeah.
And something.
Purple and something. We need a better picture.
I need a picture. He's got like a purple vibe to me. But he's also very grounded, you know, as well. So I feel like there's something there. Maybe purple, blue, green or something like that.
Maybe a tricolor. type thing. Going
on. But he feels like he was he's like a really cool guy. Anyways,
well, hopefully Jamie hears this. And maybe she could throw a photo of him on the thread so people can see, and then you can obviously confirm it once you see the photo.
I'm really appreciative of everybody who contributed to that thread. And again, if you just want to feel the magic, just read the thread. There's a lot of cool ways people see signs on there at this time.
Okay. And then the other picture is up there already.
Yes.
From the first story.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, hopefully this will help some people during the holidays that are having a tough time with it and that are waiting for a sign or hoping for a sign.
And
or if you don't get a sign.
And you don't have to do anything the way anybody else does it. You know what I mean? Just make yourself feel good this holiday season, no matter what you're going through. It's okay to change things up.
So just switching gears now. How are you doing on the Christmas exchange?
Yeah.
We said this last time, it is a nostalgic gift from a department store.
Yes.
Are you have any ideas, or are you keeping those close to the vest? What's going on?
Yeah, the theme is holiday nostalgic department store.
I know what department store I'm going to hit. I think I know.
$60 limit.
Yes.
I unlocked new department stores.
Yeah, I'm going Bloomies.
Right, there's I didn't even realize there's Bloomingdale's. Nordstrom. That's a little too. Yeah, that might be too pricey for me.
And we did a
$60 limit.
We did a rock paper scissors, and I won. By the way, I won. And you get to pick which department store you want. You get to go first.
Okay.
Now, I guess it doesn't really matter.
You won Bloomingdale's.
And I got Bloomingdale's.
Right.
But actually, I actually even deferred it to you. And you said Bloomingdale's.
You can have Bloomingdale's.
And you went with Macy's.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I guess it doesn't matter which one you go first, only in the fact that if you fall in love with something in the first store, it might be difficult for you to go to a different store.
I don't know.
And that might be the
I feel like I might have to try a couple stores.
Okay. So would you be okay, let's say you find the perfect gift at Macy's when you go.
Yeah.
Would you then be willing to put it down, not purchase it, then go to another department store, like Bloomingdale's?
I would. I feel comfortable.
And hoping that item's still there when you get back.
I don't think these are hot ticket items.
Okay. Because there's a chance.
In my head, I have it as decor.
It doesn't have to be.
But then you're telling me it could be something not decor.
Yeah, it could be anything.
You're saying it could just be holiday nostalgia from a department store that's not decor. That could be the Estee Lauder holiday gift set, which is more than $60.
Yeah. It could be anything that's sold in that store.
What if I get you
that's holiday?
When you go and on the little circle tables, there's always the watches with a snowflake box.
Okay.
What if I got you that?
I don't think. See, you'd get the presentation might be okay with the box, but you're going to lose unless the watch has snowflakes that fall in it, because it wouldn't be holiday.
Well, okay, got it.
If the watch had a little Santa wristband, you could.
What if it's a Christmas tree tie in a box?
Oh, and there's Christmas trees on the tie?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would,
I might get you
definitely
suspenders with wreaths on them.
Okay. I mean, you could, but I've never worn suspenders, so I don't know if you'd win with that.
It's inconsequential.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my head, I think as far as ideas, I think it might be decor. I might go decor. What about you? Are you giving up your ideas as I just gave up mine?
This is why I think you give away a little too much sometimes. I'm not going to give away a lot. That way you don't know which way I'm thinking. I mean, I saw these really large Santas.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
That I really liked. And it was right in budget. It was right on the line.
Yeah,
I think it was $61. So I'd have to go and haggle to see if I could get it for $59.99.
I don't think you can haggle at Bloomingdale's.
I'm going to try.
You'll have to take out the credit card just to get 15% off.
Yeah, no. That's true. You could do that. Get yourself an extra 50. I mean, I was going to be go up to an employee and be like, hey, can I use your discount?
Right.
Give me your employee discount.
Okay.
Yeah, you could. Look, sometimes you got to be Machiavellian sometimes.
Yeah.
You want to win? Machiavellian. The ends justify the means.
Okay. So cutthroat.
Yeah, it's cutthroat.
Well,
but anyway.
We will see you guys after the new year. But
right, this is the last episode till the new year. Correct?
We need you. We need you on December 25th over at Know Your Aura Pod on Instagram. That is where I will put up the pictures of what Scotty and I gave each other at the holiday gift exchange. We cannot proceed without your vote. You've been voting for him, I think, like 2 years in a row.
I won the last 2.
It's been hard to forgive you all.
I know.
Even though I keep it anonymous,
this is a far cry from the lean years when I kept losing, when you kept on doing impersonal gifts. And I just kept losing every year.
At impersonal gifts.
Yeah. I'm not going to, we could go back to that one year, but I'm going to lose probably.
I think when I had you I donated to the Red Cross in your name and I won.
Yeah, I know.
Because, like, how much more personal could you get?
One year I got, a Dunkin' Donuts $5 gift card.
Yeah.
Or something else.
And, like, a bottle of champagne from Target. I mean, come on. The Target bottle of champagne.
One year you give me, like, the mug with the little chocolates in it. From Target.
Like, it's so easy. Impersonal gifts are my favorite.
You know what it is? I never got
You never understood it.
I never understood it.
You got
I kept
me, like,
losing.
a butter knife with my name, like with
your initial
letter
on
M
it.
on it. And it's like, Scott, that's personal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. I lost. Anyway.
And then you give me, like, soaps. It's like, this isn't impersonal.
Right. Who would you give? Yeah, you wouldn't give.
Because you can't give give that to somebody you don't know that great.
Well, let's say
soaps.
let's say it's impersonal, but I want to become more personal.
That's like creepy. That's creepy.
That's Jumanji.
Like, you can't.
I haven't said Jumanji in like 3 episodes.
Christmas Jumanji.
This is for everyone playing, for who wants to have a real ho good time.
Okay.
Jumanji.
That's what the KYA Santa says.
Yes.
Merry Christmas to all. And to all a good night. Jumanji. And on that note.
Yes. Oh, man.
And a Happy New Year. We love you all.
Thank you so
all
much.
Are our favorite. You are our family. We are so grateful for you. We hope you have a lovely holiday season. And we will see you in 2026. This podcast is for you and about you. And thank you so much for spending some time with us today.